You just started your career in corporate, you're a hard worker, you just naturally expect that your hard work at some point should start to pay off. But it's been a year and a half since you asked for promotion, you keep getting deferred. And that's when you learn that there are some unspoken rules around navigating corporate, around climbing this corporate ladder. My name is Glory, I'm a career strategist, 6 years in corporate, I work in finance, and I help professionals navigate the unspoken rules around corporate, what they don't tell you in your office. Let's get right into it. What is corporate ladder in the first instance? Now, the corporate ladder is a journey of moving up, not just by working hard alone, but by being more visible, more strategic, more trusted, and more valuable to the business. You don't have to get to the point where you start feeling frustrated before you start looking for solutions or start looking for a way out. Because if you don't learn these basics, or if you don't learn these unspoken dynamics in corporate, you're going to go elsewhere and start making those mistakes as well. It looks like you start stumbling. Now, here are the things that you don't get told about corporate, and here are the mistakes that you need to avoid. Waiting to be chosen before positioning yourself. Promotion is not just a reward, it's a business case, it's a process. You need to start acting like the position that you want to be in. Naturally, in this woke generation, people say, "Oh, I'm just going to act my age. I'm not going to do beyond what I'm paid to do." Well, I mean, if that's what you want to do, fine. But if you really want to grow in this corporate ladder, you need to know that there's a lot of making sure that people see what you're doing and not just putting your head down and doing it, right? I hate to say, but there's a lot of eye service in corporate. So you need to make sure that the piece of work you're doing is visible. You need to make sure that even before you sit to have that conversation with your manager, they can already see you acting in that next level. They can already see you performing in that next level. So when they're raising a business case, it's not going to be a difficult one. You need to be able to demonstrate that you have the leadership skill, you have the communication skill. I was having a conversation in a mentorship group, and some people naturally don't want to step into a manager role. They feel like, oh no, if I can just do the technical part of my job, and that should be fine. Just get my head down, do the work, and just get out there. But the truth is, if you are going to climb the corporate ladder, if you are going to climb into management, you do need to start with being a line manager. Even if it's managing one person, don't feel like, no, I don't think I'm going to be able to do that. It's a learning curve. You start somewhere. But if you've not been in line management, do you know how AI scans your CV? If you apply for a role and they require someone that with management experience, if they don't see anything management, regardless of whether you can perform the role or not, your CVs get scanned out, right? So if you really want to progress, you need to make sure that you are putting your hands up for things that has to do with managing people, because that's what business is about, really. Apart from doing the technical bits, it's about managing people, because people are the most difficult part of business. So if you can demonstrate in your day-to-day activities, in the tasks that you're given to handle among your team, that you can be trusted to manage people, then you're on your way to that corporate ladder. Number 2 mistake that I see people making is avoiding workplace relationships. I understand the bit where you feel like you don't want to be fake, you don't want to have to interact with someone that's not particularly your person, or you don't get along, so you don't feel you need to interact with them. But I promise you do yourself more hurt if you're not building your relationships at work. You need to be intentional about the people that you network with. It doesn't mean you have to attend all the networking events. Obviously, you need to choose your battle. But it's very important that you know the event that you attend. I know this might sound, hopefully it doesn't sound awful, but look at the person that organized the event. If it's a senior leader, then you better be there. Obviously, if you've got other commitment and it's almost inevitable that you can't attend, then yes, that's fine. Now, you don't need to be everybody's best friend, but you do need trust, warm relationships, strategic conversations, little small talk here and there, expressing genuine interest in the things that you see people are interested in. Because strategic relationships like this shape how people talk about you when you're not in the room. You don't want a situation where your manager brings up your case for a promotion and they're like, who is that? They're struggling to know who you are. Your name is not already ringing a bell. You don't have to do everything. You don't have to take the burden or the load of the company on your shoulders before you become visible, right? But it goes beyond just doing the technical work to building relationships, and building these relationships beyond your immediate team. I know it's very comfortable, very natural for you to just be comfortable with the only people on your team, but you do need to be extending your network beyond your current team. Go have a quick chat, a quick coffee chat, a quick chat with one of the directors when you're grabbing coffee. Just something little here and there before your face start getting familiar. 3 is thinking that good work speaks for itself. Good work, as the name implies, is good. But good work in itself needs visibility. If you're fixing things, you're improving things, and nobody knows about it, or the right people don't know about it, then it's as good as you didn't do it. I've been there. I made that mistake several times. I'm fixing things. I'm improving things. I'm doing it silently. Nobody knows. So you don't get the credit for it. When it gets to time for recognition, nobody knows you did. Nobody knows it was broken. So it just feels like, well, it was working. You need to document your wins. You need to be intentional about speaking up about the things that you're working on. Naturally, I used to wait till the process is complete and I say, oh, yes, I was working on this. But then nobody sees the impact. Nobody feels the emotion from it. We need to say from start to finish, this is what I'm about to start. Well, this is my idea, this is my initiative, this is what I want to start working on. And midway, you need to say progress. You need to give progress updates so it's not forgotten. And you need to come back to say, this is what I have developed, this is what I have found, this is what I have done. And you gradually document those. Those are your bragging documents in your one-to-ones, in your performance review. Because imagine you're doing performance review at the end of the year or the start of the year for the previous year. And who's going to remember all the things that you did in the last 11 months? Who? Definitely not you or even your manager, because your manager also got other people to do the review, or also got his own review to do. So you better be writing down those things that you're doing so they don't get forgotten. Number 4 is staying comfortable in the role when it's no more growing you. I understand that a lot of time you need to get your bills paid. Sometimes you just need a job to get by. But comfort can sometimes be stagnation. You need to step out of your comfort zone sometimes. It doesn't mean that you might leave the company entirely, but it could be shadowing a different team, understanding how things work in different sides of the business, how you can develop yourself. Because if that role does not challenge you anymore, if there's no growth, there's no learning curve for you, then you're stagnant, really. If there's no visibility, no stretch, no pathway forward, and you've stopped growing, and you need to do something fast about it. But that marks the end of the mistake that you most definitely should avoid if you're going to get ahead in corporate. But to wrap up, I would say don't mistake visibility or high performance for social skills, for networking, for building your network, for interacting with other people. Beyond being able to carry out the task, there's more to climbing the career ladder than the technical bit. There's likability. But follow this page for more, because I'm going to be dropping more insights about navigating the unspoken rules around corporate and corporate progression. I've created a guide about how to navigate the unspoken rules of corporate that no one tells you about. It's linked in the description box. My name is Glory, and I'll see you in my next one.